already. I hope you can hear me out there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm very new at this, so I'm just learning. Let me get rid of that. So, my name is Venus Callida, and if anyone is out there, I am new to VTubing. This is my debut, and I just wanted to show you. Screen capture my character. Oh, I'm beside myself. And let me put that off for a minute. So, what I've been doing, really scrambling to learn as best as I can how to use computers for the VTubing. As you can see, I do have various products that I have been creating, episodes that I've been putting out and exploring different kinds of I'm noticing that I'm not really emoting. I'm very sorry. Here we go. She's waking up now. So, in my backstory, which I've set up for you, a little show, I am actually originally a gamer for many years in World of Warcraft. A lot of other video games never really held interest for me. I have explored many of the Blizzard games and just fun little things that we see online. And so, out of gaming, I was a cosplayer, and I would often cosplay various video game characters. My best design has not been built yet. It is a Frost Death Knight. For my character that I always played was Venus Callida. And I have been out there in Facebook and in Steam and other things for friends when they'd ask me to come in and join them when they were filming something for themselves, but I really hesitated to become a part of this world for a long time. And since COVID keeping us at home and keeping us a little bit bored, I started to learn a little bit about it. I started to look at other people out there, and I want to send a big thank you out there for the mother of this avatar, which is really pretty, and that is Eri Dante. Eri Dante, I found them through Facebook, and I just happened to like the way that they were drawing their still life characters, especially what I call the universe inside the eyeball look, which I think is very pretty, and tried to get on my model here. I would also like to have a very super special thank you out there to Nick and the Vtuberland community, who is the father of my avatar here, Venus Callida. I'm glad to give her a new life in a new venue. And so, in the background of this character, of course, she's a Frost Death Knight, once upon a time, very invincible, very undead, an elven. She's a blood elf by origin, and in the stories that I'll be putting out under the playlist Brave and Mortal Souls, you can start to learn about her backstory and where she comes from and where she's trying to get back to. She is a survivor of horrific violent crimes and amnesia, and most of my goals as a creator are to be the health journey, the healthful lifestyle journey, making choices that best help us, especially to get a good night's sleep, because we need that rest. And often when we're troubled by other things or we're pained by other things, it's very hard to get that good night's sleep, which is the very first step. It's a very basic step, but it's difficult for so many of us to achieve it. And so I'm trying to do things to not only explore and help myself, but to help anyone else that might need the help, because I meet so many people with so many unique stories, and they're having the same troubles that I'm having. So from whatever we come from, I would like to be a place where we can hang out and enjoy and de-stress and maybe even get a good night's sleep. So let me show you my backstory origin for Venus Callida as I enter the world of VTubing. Here we go. was another quiet morning, the cool breeze wafting through the house, carrying on it the scent of the... Oh. I was just finishing writing in my journal, looking up as I was closing my book. I could see my younger sisters playing in the front yard with my mother. I remember smiling at the sound of their laughter, looking down the hallway to my father's empty study. I had just sank back into my chair, and for a split second began to think it was nice to hear the wind chimes and the giggling. Then I was snapped back into reality, with a spine-chilling scream and the confusing sight of soldiers bursting up the stairway, grabbing and dragging me out of the house, half stumbling onto my mother as she rushed forward to wrap her arms around me, pleading with the men. Mom? What? No! She was shoved to the ground, pleading for my release. My little sister was trying to run and grab around my waist, and my mother was catching her as she was knocked back by a soldier's boot. They were both knocked backward. I could barely crane my head around to see my youngest baby sister with her stuffed doll running to hide inside the house. I strained my head as much as I could the other way, and I could see my cousins being dragged from their house too. The next-door neighbors, conscripts. Our fathers and brothers had already been taken. There were so few of us left already. This war, why will it never end? So few of us left, cut off from our allied territories, and elves, not having large families to begin with, were pulling every living soul old enough to hold a weapon into the front lines. They promised not to take all children from every household. Though I struggled to free my arms and walk on my own, I was dragged away with the futile hope that maybe my sacrifice would spare my younger sisters from facing the same horror. Maybe Mom will be willing to move further back, away from the front. There were still some rural villages in the mountains they could run to. I could hear my little sister scream my name through her tears. But the baby, she's barely old enough to walk. She may never remember she even had a big sister. I could only yell that I loved them. If it was the last thing I'd ever get to say, even though we were demonstrative, snappy, and we fought about stupid little things, it needed to be heard. If ever, now. I promised to come back as soon as I could, but this was muffled as I was forced into the vehicle, jammed up against the other young girls, locking eyes with my cousin Frooks. Her name escaped my lips instinctively as we reached out to clasp our hands together for support. At least we were in this together. With any hope, a treaty can be reached before we become the next front line. V. I heard her stumble over the first syllable of my name, and seeing the tears escape her stern face, I silently fought back my own. So few of us left, even fewer left behind. We passed through one village after the next, half like ghost towns. Some fled to the last standing capital city, some to the rural outskirts, others refusing to move from their family homes in fear of having no place left to run. Height? My height? 5'10". Yeah, I'm a little short for the average. I am a kid. Eyes. You can see them. Silver blue. Hair. Blue. Age? Stunned and confused, the officers stood us in a row to declare our physical stats for the identity tags. Something to aid in the cleanup when we get blown to pieces, I suppose. Unfortunately, and despite the determination and prowess of our last remaining seasoned leaders, the new round of enemy weaponry wiped out every living soul in less time than it would take to boil a kettle of water for tea. No final prayer, no flash of a peaceful, beautiful memory from our short-lived lives would spare or comfort us. No one was going to be lucky today. I don't really need any help in the field. I don't want to drag anyone into this with me just to get them hurt. But if anyone out there, a healer, really like to make friends with you real fast right now, want to be my Healy? Because buddying up in this confusion, in this horrific situation would be a really good thing to do. You know, I think I remember what the smell of lilacs was like, carried on the wind from the tree outside my window. I think I remember that smell. Every time I get blown unconscious, I seem to remember that smell and start to drift toward it. I don't really understand. Just every time I come back, why do I keep coming back? I can't seem to remember. I seem to remember less. What is my name? What was my name? We all have numbers here. In the confusion, whenever they find us on the field, they put us back together. If we're salvageable and they can still use us, they bring us back. Like, resuscitation. And every time they do, we don't get much time to think. We don't get to ask any questions. They're just always shouting at us, putting weapons back in our hands and aiming us at other people. Aiming us at other people who are pleading for their lives. Are they my enemies? I don't have time to think about this. If I don't want to be knocked back to the world of the dead again by my own superior officers, I have to just obey. I don't have time to think about this. I have to get back out there and try not to die. But, I mean, I think I keep getting killed, but for some reason, I don't. I'm not dead? Am I dead? Is this just a nightmare? I'm here. I'm alive. I look like me. It's just this young kid. I don't even know how long this has been going on for. It's such a muddle. So many ways to die. Absolutely. It hurts. And then there's drifting. And then there's seeing myself smashed to pieces. And the next thing I know, more pain, and I'm back, and I'm... That woman was begging me not to shoot her. She said we knew each other. Was she my mom? All I know is that every time they bring us back, there's a volt, there's this shock, there's like lightning pain, and then they're shouting at me and aiming weapons in my hands at other people. And then we're put back out there with the machines and the explosions and confused people. I remember that it's important to make friends. I remember what I look like, and I remember the smell. I remember the smell of flowers in the trees. and I just want to get back to that tree. I know that smell was important. It comforted me, and it brings me back to finding me, V. Someone who I know called me V. I'm not quite sure how to put this together, but I do know that this retraining, every time we get reawakened, they're brainwashing us. Now that I know this is what they're doing, they're testing us. If we don't obey them, they just slash us back down, bring us back there. They're stripping our minds of who we are just to keep people fighting a war that never seems to end. But if no one will stop aiming a weapon, how can it ever end? I know that I came from somewhere. I know that I know someone who's out there. And I know that they called me V. And that woman, if she was my mom, they're testing the effectiveness of this retraining, brainwashing thing on our own families. Is that why there's so few of us left? There've got to be others like me who figured out what's going on. I need to find them. I think I have an idea of who else might be piecing this together. So long as I know, I'm going to figure this out. I am not going to do this forever. I was not born to slaughter the rest of this world. Why can't I die? I mean, I keep getting killed. What is the price of immortality? To keep dying and keep coming back? I don't seem to be old. I don't look sick. I don't know what this all means yet, but I know this. Whatever I am, whether I've always been this or they made us into this, well, okay, I think that I need to find more people like me, and whether I do or not, I'm getting out of here. I am not doing this. I have got to find wherever I came from. The only clue I have is the scent on a breeze, flylocks. Then I think every spring I've got to be on the move. I've got to find where I come from. I've got to find out if any of my family is left. I've got to find the people who knew who I was. I know I've been broken into pieces. My brain is a mess, and it's going to take a while to piece this all together. There have got to be other survivors out there. And my redemption. I really hope that I was not ever made to kill anyone innocent. I promise myself I am going to get out of this. I'm going to find other people like me. I'm going to find people to help for as long as they need. I will protect them. I will help them get back to their homes while I search for mine. And if I have any relative left out there, a sister, cousin, my mom, I'm going to find them. Until I do, there are too many of us who've been ripped from our homes, too many of us whose full homes have been flattened by this horrific war. I am going to help us rebuild. We're going to find a place, and we'll make a family of ourselves, and we will make a home. Most of us just get one mortal lifetime, one soul. Mine, for some reason, keep coming back to me. I'm going to try to heal us so we can be whole again. It's one life. Our one soul is so precious. So is every life around us. I'm not sure where to go, but I'm going to follow my instincts. I'm going to follow my soul. If I'm not quite sure, it seems to be able to tell me, give me hints. I've got to start paying attention and heal. I hope that anyone I find on my journey back to, well, on my journey, in this journey, is just proving valuable, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it worthwhile for anyone who wants to join me for however long they choose, and for anyone who wants place, anyone who wants help. I know I need to heal. I want my memories back. I want my mind to be healthy, not just my body, but both. And I'm not quite sure which direction to take, but I do know to take a direction, I've got to take a step. So if you're out there, if we come across each other, you're welcome to join me for however long you'd like, for curiosity, for fun, for family, for now, or for always. It'll be up to you, but my door's open. I welcome you. Ave and so. I'll see you out there. Oops. Okay. So just stopping the screen for a moment. Oh, looks like my avatar needs a bit of a stretch. There she goes. So, I've made a screen here, and I was hoping that I could move myself over a little bit to show you my stats, and still very green on this. Please forgive me for my debut, but you can laugh at my mistakes with me, and a year from now I will do a remake on the whole thing. And I just want to check in on my girl here to make sure we can get her moving. So just to show you, here she is. So trying to move her around a little bit so you can see her better. Alright, that looks alright. So I'm going to continue here a little bit. I set this up so that I could try to show you my stats, and they're meant to be like marble tablets, and the red and gold marble is not to my guild, Avitus Validus. I know some of my officers are some of my first subscribers, so thank you for supporting me, AV, out there. So this is just to show you on my profile. My name here is Venus Callida. My nicknames are V, Ven, or the letter V, It's nice and easy. And I'm a blood elf. So the debate is, am I alive or dead? Am I undead? But I know I'm not rotting. I'm not a zombie. I'm looking pretty good for whatever age I am. I am. I really do have amnesia. My head has been blown to bits a few times. There are no paper records of me. And so we're estimating, by how I look, I might be about 116 years old, or at least at the time of my first mortal passing. I don't like to think about it really. I want to just think that I've been unconscious and I've been shocked back just like anybody else who heads into the emergency room. And I don't really want to think too much about age. I'm just glad that I'm here and making the best of it. But by elven standards, I'm a teenager still. I know by human standards, I've been around a while. So my height is 5'10". I know that usually elves are about 6'1" by my age, but what are you gonna do? My hair blue, many shades of blue. I love blue. And was it blue before the war? I'm really not sure. Some theorize I might have had raven hair that turned blue on my passing from the shock. Others think that I was definitely a blonde and it blued up over time because of the chemicals in the war the warfare that was going on. I kind of really hope it always was blue. It's very unique and it goes well with my silvery blue eyes. Now, my birthday, because there are no records, I wanted to choose and share January the 1st because, um, you know, in my origins or my background, it is a day that we celebrate life renewed, setting new goals for a new year, the annual second chance that we all give ourselves. And, well, I think it's just a really great time to have a party. I mean, for some people who feel the winter blues, it's right in the middle of the time where you can't find any food growing on the trees or in the shrubs outside. It's very scarce, so you have to have a lot of hope to keep pushing through. Well, at least where I'm from, I've heard about this thing called a fridge from the humans. But when you're out there in the field, you don't have the luxury of plugging things in to keep your choice of food around, so you make do. I'll probably be sharing a few of my recipes with you guys too, when you have to make do. It's amazing the delicious things you can make with 2 or 3 ingredients. But more about that later. So, known relatives. I know I had a dad. I know he was deceased in the war before I was conscripted. That is for sure, because they wouldn't have taken me if he hadn't fallen. My mom. I'm hoping this is not the case, but by remembering what I can piece together from training, I have this most stomach-wrenching, horrifying belief that she was executed during these retraining drills they give us before they put us back in the field. I can remember a younger sister, and I know her name was also Venus and Venus Chirindi. I know I used to call her Baby V. I can remember that. I'm very happy that I have this memory and that I can hold on to it. There is a baby sister out there, and I know she's old enough to remember who I am. She might be looking for me. I definitely want to find her before anyone else does. So she'll be on the forefront of my mind as I'm on my mission. Youngest sister. I believe there was a baby, and she would have also been a Venus, and if I'm remembering correctly, Venus Terrace, and location unknown. I don't know if the person who was executed during my training drills, if that was, God forbid, my mom, then I have no idea what they would have done with my sisters. I am hoping that she fled. I'm hoping she went to the mountains. I'm hoping that my sisters were put somewhere safe. Maybe if they had made it to the main city, the main capital city that was still standing, maybe they'll be there, and I'm going to head that direction first, just to be sure. Now, the mother of this avatar, Eri Dante, is the name in Facebook, but Eri Dante would be in Fiverr. The difference is there's an E on the end of Dante in Facebook, and there's no E in Fiverr. And they make very beautiful drawings and still lifes. So if you're interested in that, but if you're looking for someone who can rig or even make corrections to enable the rigging to be done, if you're an artist and you're into drawing for yourself but you haven't learned how to rig, I really do recommend Nick. I'm going to try to say your whole name, Nikhilsapra. And I met him through Fiverr. Absolutely awesome. So helpful to me, and will probably be helping me work out the kinks in my tracking. But we do have some very nice special effects lined up for Venus for you in future episodes, so that I'll be able to emote a little better soon enough. And you can also find Nikhilsapra on the Vtuberland Family, and there's already been a few Vtuberland avatars out there, VTubers who have said hello and have also given me some suggestions while I'm looking for artists and hoping to further develop this character over time. So thank you very much, all you guys out there. I'm very excited to meet more of the Vtuberland family as well once I get things going. So here we have now on my tablets my likes: Snape, Slytherin, and frozen butterbeer. You cannot beat a frozen butterbeer, even in the middle of winter, but I am from the tundra of the north, so hit me with it. Homemade meatballs. I use 3 kinds of meat in my meatballs, though, all my vegetarian friends, I welcome you. I will not eat them in front of you, not ever. I like simple hot soups on a cold day, at the end of the day. You just want to feel a little bit peaceful or cozy or comfy, and I'll be sharing lots of soup recipes in some of my episodes. I love olive buns. I love black olives. For some, they're the nightmare on a pizza, and for others, it's a favorite, and I'm on the side of favorites. I love all flavors of Jell-O. If I won $1 million, I would fill a pool with orange Jell-O and find out how many people could actually float in it. And I love, and this is very real, in my health journey, I have lived in the most isolated northern places on this planet, and you could not get safe, clean, cool drinking water. I've almost died 3 times from contaminated water, and the damage my organs have suffered from it I'm lucky to be here. So I share much in common with my avatar. And as Venus, I appreciate clean, cool, uncontaminated, safe drinking water. And if I can bathe in it or swim in it all day, I will. And in the same tune, I love to have safe sourced ice cubes. I love to crunch them, I love to munch them, I love to suck on them, I love to let them melt in my mouth. They feel really refreshing sometimes. And being that I love to be outdoors and I love to play sports, dousing myself with some cold water and crunching down on a couple of ice cubes, I find it soothing and relaxing. Yes, it's also related to health. So anyone with anemia might find that they really enjoy crunching ice cubes. Make sure you get your red blood cells checked out. All right. Knowing that, my dislikes: bullies, the deliberate, sneaky, two-faced kind that show a different face to different people and never come clean. They're so aggravating. I know there are times where we can have our day and we've been bullied, and hopefully when we can solve and resolve our issues. It's not a continual thing. It's not a lifestyle habit. It's not the thing we feel glee for. It's not what fills our tank. I've always been the human shield between the bullies and the people that they're preying on, and I don't like it. I try not to do it, and I apologize if anyone's ever felt I was a bit too stubborn, but I don't drag people into my shenanigans. My adventures are my own. If you'd like to come along, buckle up, and I hope we're going to start a really good one of our own together here too. My other dislike, there are a few. I'm not too picky, but birdie spots, every flavor beans. Why? I understand it's an adventure to play the dare game and hope, beyond hope, you can discover something that is not a disgusting flavor, but they're so disgusting. And unfortunately, I discovered them on a blind. The packaging looks good. I love Harry Potter. That must be wonderful. Let's buy some jelly beans, because I was in a rush to meet my friends. They were already in the movie theater. I had to get to my seat. And in the dark, one thing after another, I was saying, what am I tasting? Am I tasting? It couldn't be. And then I read the label once we were in the light of day, and yes, it was. Oh, they're nasty. Give them to your enemies. I recommend them. My mission goals. As a conscript, very young at the time, who's been through a lot of horrifying sights and deeds and injuries that need healing. Some things will never heal the same. Redemption. For her part in the wars, before regaining control of her own memories and willpower, her power to say no and make a choice and leave and not repeat hurting others. She will help all her guildies, subscribers, M-souls, those beautiful mortal souls, travelers, anyone who's stopping by for a visit because they're bored, for so long as you seek it from her. I'm going to be providing it in the way that I can in this medium. Also, as Venus, a personal mission is to find her scattered siblings and rebuild a home for them and keep them safe, prevent them from having to go through the horror she's been through, prevent them from ever being hurt by other people the way she has, and any others that they come across while finding each other and building a home for each other. Anyone needing a place to belong, to heal, to stay while they get stronger, to stay because they're bored, to stay just because. All are welcome. As a VTuber, my goals would be to reach 1,000 subscribers so that I can get monetized and gain affiliations with the sleep aid related products. I really am dedicated to trying to help myself and everyone else out there to have a good sleep and not feel so overwhelmed and fatigued all the time. It's awful. I want to max my eye level in Dragonflight in WoW in front of your eyes. Really, Shadowlands, I just hated the premise. That was the first time I ever mentally checked out of a game that I loved, and to the nightmare of all of my guildies, I just checked out. But I'm back, and with all of you guys in tow, when you're bored, let's go and find out how I can gear myself up and not die everywhere. I do miss the days of Lich King. I do want to help support our healthful and healing journeys, and I do want to continue improving my artistic, computer graphic, and entertainment skills. You can see that I did try to put the pictures together myself, and last minute, between late last night and early this morning, I changed my mind about the colored pictures that I had made and turned it into a black and white to try to make it a little more consistent in style. But I plan to work on it. As a younger kid, I was always drawing anime. I don't know why putting hand to a tablet feels so different for me than a pencil to paper, but I'm a hand person. I'm a handy person, and I work with my hands, and so it was a very different experience when I bought my first tablet in July, and I've put it down a lot, but I keep picking it up and trying a little bit at a time. And so I want to thank my friends out there who are my guildies, some of them who actually created avatar or fan pictures of different versions, the Chibi Venus, Chibi V, and the other Venus, who I tried to use some of their models inside of these pictures so that it was not for nothing. They make great Facebook profile photos, but also I tried to sneak them in here if you guys noticed. So thank you, guildies, and my friends out there. Thank you, everybody who's been stopping by. Unfortunately, I don't know how to view the chat stream yet. I'm still learning. I just didn't want to delay the debut again, so I wanted to launch today, and then I will fix it. And a year from now, as I said, let's see if I can't make things better. So communities where you can find me if you're interested. I am in this YouTube channel at Venus Callida. I am also in Facebook under Venus Callida, and in Twitter at Venus Callida with no space between the two names. If you do cosplay, I cosplay at conventions, and Venus is one of the characters I will be cosplaying in the future at the Toronto Fan Expos and Comic Cons. I'm usually there. And I also go to the YetiCon in Blue Mountains, which is over near Collingwood, for those of you who know, north of Toronto, north of Barrie. And you will find me in the World of Warcraft, in the Drennan realm, which is now linked to other realms as well. And I am the guild master on the Horde side of Avitus Validus, AV. I'm very much into symbolism, and everything has to do with impervious immortality, being a death knight, being an undead, being an eternal, and once our souls are gone, our animated virtual characters will live on in the memories of computers forever. We're here now, and that's wonderful. I'm also in and out of Steam in different rooms, including the one for my guild, which is the AV Guildies room. I have been invited into other rooms as well, but I have not made a permanent fixture of myself there yet. I'm just getting started with all of that. I often in the past, when I joined things with my guilds or with my friends, often once we were done, I would erase my trail, so I'm constantly re-signing up to enter them. I also tried to do a Reddit, however, and the character in there, my version of Venus in there, is very cute, but every time I try to start a community, it blocks my community, so I don't know why. And I find that I don't necessarily enjoy the formatting in there. It's reminding me of HTML in the 80s. I don't know why. So I may just pull out of that and keep things simple, keep things here mainly in YouTube, and I'll always add new shows, new episodes through the Twitter feed and through my friends at Facebook. So moving on, let's see if I have any other screens. So a special thank you to all of my original subscribers out there. Some of you just joined last night even. Thank you so much for supporting me and having a look around in my rooms. And I hope you're really enjoying yourself. Thank you for the feedback, especially to the subscribers who have actually I've talked to in person or over the phone or in emails. Some of the feedback that I'm getting has been very constructive, and you can see that as I develop new episodes, that I am trying to take the advice you're giving me or the interest you have and include them somehow in what I'm doing, so that when I'm growing, I'm keeping you entertained. And there are some episodes that already exist that are based on some of my guildies who are some of my first subscribers. Thank you, officers, for always having my back in any realm. And you'll see that I do incorporate your preferences. And in those preferences, I am aware some people like musical backgrounds, some people can't stand it, some people like white noise or sound effects, and some people they do like the music. I'm not sure which style of music my subscribers like most. However, I've had no complaints yet, so I'll just keep going with what I'm doing, and as soon as someone gives me a request or a preference, I will work with that for you so that you can have some fun. And yeah, so the schedule of live events, I will be back tomorrow to take a toe and dip it into Dragonflight, and that will be tomorrow, Sunday, March the 5th, in WoW. It is the Drendon realm, which is linked to the Aratha realm. I can't speak to how many other realms. They've merged just a few times now. But I'll be online at 1 p.m. There won't be the big dramatic setup to come in. I'll just say hi and send us in. I know for sure I can do the streaming of the gaming, right? Because I've been practicing that. You can see those practice feeds on that playlist. So 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for my friends over in California and Alaska. So you can join me for breakfast. And Tuesday, March the 7th, I will be back. I wanted to do one live Riddle Me This. It's a Riddle Me Din Din in chat. So I'm going to pick out a couple of very simple things you can make for a quickie, very simple dinner, but satisfying for me and my friends who might have a little less in the cupboards at times or just not the energy. So I want to help support you, and then we can just chat, and by then I'm hoping I'll learn how to directly see the chat feeds and interact with you more directly. So I'm still learning. I'm hoping that I will master that by Tuesday. Thursday, March the 9th, I'm going to explore Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells. It's through the Facebook app. This is one that you may be sick of seeing me do already. I really like it. It's just fun for me. I vegetate and I chill out and I relax. And so I can just chit chat with you until I run out of live. So at most, from what I see, I last about an hour for that, but it may not take that long sometimes. I'm not very lucky. So that will be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Friday, I'll be back a little bit later. I'm trying to set it so that it's at least early evening for my friends over in the West Coast. Friday, March the 10th, it's a tuck in and chill sleep binaurals. So I wanted to greet anyone who's stopping by and actually play one of the sleep aid binaural beats that I made myself, stories, and play it. And I might, as the chat feed flies through, be talking to people live on top of that video and get your feedback on whether it is disturbing you or actually helping you sleep or actually helping you to meditate. And so that, because I am exploring how to do binaurals myself, and that was actually the first venture into the computer knowledge that I was working on back in the summer, and it's one that, because other things like my recipe riddles have taken off and seem to be the most popular thing I do, which was by accident, that's the Tuesday night, I want to get back into this. And I did intend to have 8-hour videos. I do have them on the shelf. Some are produced, but I'm not able to completely finish them yet. I need an extra hard drive to have the room to do it, but they are set up and they are binaurals that I created myself. So let's find out if I can put any of my subscribers or visitors to sleep on Friday night. Saturday, I'll be back this time next week to feature one of the original stories for Brave Immortal Souls. This is the storyline for my avatar here, Venus Callida, telling you where she's coming from. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to see if I can give it some motion or give it some changing pictures, because this was one of the first constructive criticisms I did receive back in the day when I first featured it out there. I like the stories in this set. These are Venus's experiences before you've met her on her debut, and this is where she's coming from into future times. So that will be this time next week, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, March 11th. The new schedule for the weeks thereafter, I'll be posting them on a weekly basis or so at that time. So the new schedule will be announced next week on Saturday, March the 11th. So here we go. I'm so sorry that I can't see who's out there. I think I know some of the people who said they'd pop in and out. So I could be talking to myself. I could be talking to people that I can't see what you're saying in chat right now. But I thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me any of your time, because I know time is precious. And I certainly want to make it worth your while to pop in and say hello when you can. And that's about it. Oh, finally got her moving just a little bit. So let me see if I can show you any more. There we go, moving her around a little bit for you guys. I don't know if you can see her blinking. Oh, there she goes. Trying to move her up for you a little bit. So here I am. Okay, thanks everybody for coming out and joining me today. You can't tell right now, but I am waving goodbye. And I'll see you next time. I hope you had some fun. Take care, and I'll see you next time.